Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time where we can relax and craft together for about an hour. And I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way, and feel free to ask questions. You can share what you're working on in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group on Facebook, and I also have the replays up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. So thanks again for joining me. We are working on the Missouri Star. It's the Triangle Tango quilt from one of their publications. They have the block publication, Missouri Star Quilt Co. It's the Fall, Volume 1, Issue 5. I have a link to the digital version of this, but this is the quilt. It is totally pretty. This is a king size, I believe, so that's what we're working with here. So all of those half square triangles, that's what we're making now, and this is the size of the half square triangles. So we're going to make a pile of these for the quilt. We already have about 40 done, and we need to make 168 total. So I started this project just because I love the fabric so much. Like, look at the little baby stars. What else? Oh, we got these cute sunshines. Some rainbows. I thought this pattern would work well for these fabrics because I wanted to show off the fabric. I didn't want to chop it up into a bunch of little squares or something. I wanted to see all the smiley suns and moons and rainbows. So I wanted a pattern that wouldn't chop it all up, and so this is going to work great. And it's one of these quick, easy patterns where it's one easy block that you repeat over and over again. And I just wanted a little break from all the very detailed blocks that we're doing for the Splendid Sampler to quilt along. So this is kind of a little interim project that we're working on. We started it last Friday, and we'll probably go next week yet. Just sneaking it in there. A sneak project. So, all right, let's get going. I'm in the middle of sewing from last night. We are doing the method of half square triangles now, where we have two 10-inch squares, and we sew all the way around the square, and then we chop it in half on the diagonals. So you'll get what I'm talking about soon. We did do a little demo of this a couple days ago if you wanted to check it out. But I'm doing all the rest of the squares. I have 32 squares. I'm sewing each of one side, then I'll trim them all, then I'll sew each of the next side, and the next side. So I'm hoping we can get at least that far tonight and start cutting these into half square triangles. So, all right, let's get to it. I'm going to flip you around. All right, here is all of the guys that we started. Again, we're just sewing the one edge, but ultimately, so we have a piece of pattern fabric. Let me just lock you in here. So we have a piece of our pattern fabric and then a piece of our white. So here we go. The cute little pattern there. So we're going to sew around all four edges here, and once all four edges are sewn, so we're basically enclosing this, it's just all sewn all the way around, then we're going to cut it on the two diagonals. And once we do that, we will have our half square triangle. So it's as if we have like four of these guys like that, and then once they're cut, we will press them and have our half square triangles. So that is the technique we're using. We actually used another technique last night and the last couple days as well because I didn't have enough fabric to do enough of these squares. So we had to make some half square triangles using a different, like a strip process. But now we're onto the squares, so we're going to just hang out and sew a whole pile of lines tonight. All right, guys, let's get a little bit lower here. So you'll have to let me know how your Friday went today. I'm pretty excited that it's the weekend officially. Let me roll up my sleeves a little bit. I haven't been here for a weekend in a little while, so I'm kind of just itching to clean up the house. Like, I just want to clean every single drawer in the kitchen. I want to, go through the towel closet and, I don't know, get rid of stuff that we don't need anymore, vacuum everything. I don't know, I got spring cleaning on the mind. I don't have a lot of time to do that during the week, and we haven't been here for the past couple weekends. So we visited my brother in Kansas City, and then my parents in Wisconsin last weekend. So man, I'm just behind on the feeling like I got my house put together. So it's time. I'm getting excited about it. We have not planted a garden, but we've had freezing weather still. So I think if I would have planted anything, plants for sure. Seeds probably would have been fine, but if I planted some started plants, I have a feeling the past couple days would have frozen them up. But this afternoon was so beautiful. Still cool. I'm still in the mornings wearing a scarf and a light coat that I could make into a heavier coat if I wanted, like if I put a sweater underneath, and a scarf and some gloves yet, so we're not totally in Summerland here yet. I can feel it though, it's getting here. Oh, it's freezing by you two? Oh wait, it's blowing a gale of freezing. So that's funny because we're usually opposites, but I suppose this time of year, you're getting the fall into winter. We're getting the just barely out of winter into spring. But the sun was shining this afternoon. I even walked to the grocery store because I wanted ice cream. So I figure at least if I walk to the grocery store, it's not so bad. But that was kind of like one of my first walks in the sun, because I really like doing that, just walking to the grocery store in the summer and getting whatever we need for the next couple days and attempting to carry it back. So I got to do that today, and it felt like I haven't done it in ages. But yeah, I don't know what the weekend's going to be like. But maybe I can have the windows open even. That'd be cool. Oh, you start with the baseboards and move up? Yeah, this is less of a cleaning and more of a clearing the drifts, I suppose. If you guys follow me on my newsletter, like I've talked about drifts before. I feel like the clutter attaches itself to the walls, kind of like a snowdrift. So like it just clears away enough for us to walk. So the drifts are piling up again, and it's starting to drive me a little kooky. So, and we had all that water, not a ton, but we had water in our basement during that crazy early spring storm where we still had 4 feet of snow, and then it decided to rain and melt. So we got some water there, and we still haven't put everything back in the basement that we brought upstairs because we had to get everything off the ground. So all that stuff's sitting around yet. I just can't deal anymore. It's got to go away. So that is my plan of the weekend. I'm excited about it. Maybe I'll even add some sleeping in. That would be nice too. So I'm lining up all these edges, and that's going to take the most time for this first round. It's going to be a little bit easier for the next edges. We left it last night with 9 left, so I think I got maybe 4 more to do here. There's 32 total. So that was going to get us 128 squares, because we get 4 out of each of these because we're dividing it into quarters. And then we needed 40 extra to reach our 168, and I got those 40 extra from doing that other technique. So we have those 40 done. We need all these guys done now. So hopefully we get kind of far on this. It's just sewing a pile of straight lines tonight. This is definitely a relax and throw a movie on task. There we go, lining things up a little. Ooh, you rake the front lawn. Ooh, see, we need to start doing that stuff too. Start raking, and gosh, we could probably even mow the grass already. Joe, this is going to be I think it's going to end up being a king-size quilt, but it is just that one block, right? So that one block, you could make this quilt whatever size you want. Just do less blocks, basically. I think, well, there's 100, Deborah, there's 168 blocks that we're going to be doing. And let's see, this part is going to be 6.5 inches, these squares. So we lose that ½ inch when we sew it in the quilt. So that's 6 inches. And then I think we add another 2 inches or so on 2 sides. So I think we're going to end up with 8-inch blocks when we're done. So you can think about it that way. You'll be making 8-inch blocks. So you can use that, I believe it's 8. It's either 8 or 8.5, but I think it's 8. So you can use 8 inches to kind of do the math on how many blocks you want to make, and go from there. Uh-oh. I have one, how did that happen? I have one extra white piece. Oh wait, I think I was supposed to have one extra white piece. Let's hope so. Yep, I think I was going to end up with one extra. Let's put that behind me so I don't make that mistake. Because I think when we cut, one of these is cut with 42-inch wide fabric, the pattern, and the white was cut from 36 inch wide fabric. So we're going to end up with a different amount. How many of these in 10 blocks? Well, it's one. Oh, you mean how many of these 10-inch square things? Well, you get 4 out of these. So if you do 3 of these, you'll get 12 blocks. So 3 10-inch patterned squares and 3 10-inch or whatever your background color is squares will get you 12 squares. But then there's also 2.5-inch strips that we add a border to. So there's a 6.5, 2.5-inch strip, and then like an 8.5, 2.5-inch strip. Ooh, I need a leader here. So you do need extra, and that's the background fabric. So you do need extra background fabric for that. And there's the pattern is, I threw a link to the pattern. You actually get the whole book. That whole entire book is like $4.95 or something, which is kind of crazy. So if you get that, then it has the pattern and a whole pile of other patterns too. All right, that's round 1. So let's just stack these guys. Now we're going to do the, another side. So I'm going to just rotate these and we'll start on the other side. All right, I think I'm going to have to stand up for this. Let's do this. Oh, if I sew the opposite side, I won't have to separate yet. Oh, I see what you're saying. I could just rotate this whole thing. Yeah, you know what? I think that'd save us a little bit of time. Let's do that. So I'm going to just rotate my whole deal here, and we're going to start sewing the other side, and I won't have to, I mean, ultimately I'll have to snip these, but for now, they can just sit in my lap and be all connected. So yeah, good idea. That will get rid of one whole step. It'll make, I mean, when I snip them, that step will go a little longer, but not as long as it will be if I did all of that right now. So that was a good idea. Oh yeah, Missouri Star Quilt Co. always has like great deals and stuff. So yeah, that's where I got this fabric from. That's where I got the book from. I happened upon there on the way back from visiting my brother and his wife. So it was kind of random. I saw a billboard. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. This is in Missouri and I'm in Missouri. So we drove an extra 13 miles and hung out at all of their stores for an afternoon. So I think they have like, what is it, like 11 stores? They have basically a whole kind of like main street of quilt shops. And some of them have more than one story. It's kind of intense. It's a lot. But that's where I got this adorable fabric and where I got the pattern. All right, I'm just going to try and keep this flat, so I'm going to just kind of keep smoothing it, I think. If my seams aren't like totally perfect here, that's going to be fine because we're going to be pressing all these and trimming all of them. Ultimately, it's not going to be the end of the world. Like versus the splendid sampler. Sometimes when you're a little off in a splendid sampler, then things can get tricky. All right, I'm just trying to realign this a little bit. All right. There, so I haven't snipped this side yet, just on those first two. So the next ones are coming right underneath this, coming up right here, all attached still. And the rest are in my lap. I'm being kind of goofy in my lap, though. Oh, on YouTube, Jean True Love did a video walk of all the stores. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, I think there was one that wasn't open, but I think they were having a retreat there. I think that's why we couldn't go through that area. But yeah, that was a fun treat. I mean, I hear people talk about Missouri Star Quilt Co. all the time on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff, but I had never been. And that's why it didn't even occur to me until I saw that billboard. Because to me, it was always this like destination place that, you know, isn't near us or whatever. And don't know if I'd ever get there or whatever. But then I saw that billboard and I'm like, oh wait, duh, I'm in Missouri. It's the Missouri Star Quilt Co. Let's just hop on over there. Buy me some fabric. All right, this side started. This one I gotta line up a little bit more, it looks like. That's just how it's gonna be. All right. So again, we're going through all 32 of these fellers. Oh, I missed what's going on. Congratulations for what? I missed it. this one's kind of off. It was probably just cut a little off. Oh well, I'm gonna go by the smaller piece. We do have to, when we cut the half square triangles, I am gonna have to trim them a little because there's a tiny little bit excess. So if I got, you know, a little excess here, I think we're gonna be okay. If not, we'll be able to stretch it. We'll make it work for us for sure. It's definitely nice having this flat table here. Oh, Nolene won. A $75 gift certificate. Oh, was that? Oh, that was what you won earlier, right? Didn't you say you, or did someone else win something too? I thought, was that a little while ago, or was that for Missouri Star Quilting Co? Oh, you did. Oh, from Fat Quarter Shop. That's what it was. That's right. It's coming together now. Cool. You'll have to share what you got. Unless you did already, I'll have to check. I'll have to check the crafters page again. Well, that's exciting. Well, that's pretty neat. Did you get to choose whatever you wanted with the gift certificate? Gosh, that would have taken forever for me to choose $75 worth of fabric. I would have had so many tabs open on my screen. That would have been a tough one. Would have been fun though. That's cool. Yay! Well, that's neat. Added to your stash. All right, if I had to guess, I'd say I'm about halfway through here. I think the stack in front of me looks about the same size as the stack in my lap. There we go. Those little ponies are cute. So all of these, except for the horses, are from the same collection. The horses were from a different collection and different manufacturers. So I have to look up both. I haven't done that yet. Pretty dang cute though. Oh, I did not see it yet. So I did not see Pat Sloan's new fabric. It's called Bonnie Lane, Bev says. Now is the time that you might be seeing in internet land all the new fabric collections from all the manufacturers and all the designers. So Quilt Market is coming up soon, and that's the trade show for the wholesale for retail stores to go buy stuff for their store. So it's for the trade only. It's for retail stores open only. It's not open for the public. But that's typically where designers show off and release all their new fabric lines. So yeah, so right now you're probably seeing a lot of that pop up on Instagram and everything, all the new collections. I've been seeing a few here and there. I'll have to dig into it a little bit more. There we go. That one was a little crooked. Yeah, let me know if any of you are going to Quilt Market, like if any of you work for stores or own a store that's going to Quilt Market. I'm not going this year. I used to go, when I was doing fabric, I used to go twice a year. I don't know, I've been thinking more about fabric lately, especially seeing these cute little stars and rainbow guys. It just makes me want to make cute fabric again, so I don't know. Let me know if you think I should do some more fabric. I would have to go start contacting manufacturers again. So let me know, if there's a certain, and not everyone keeps up on this. Obviously, this is way in it, but if you have a certain manufacturer that you like, these are Robert Kaufman and the other one's Moda, and there's a whole pile of manufacturers. If you like any of those, if there's something specific about the fabric or something that you like with those, let me know, because those are the places I would contact if I wanted to do more fabric. Well, I'm kind of undecided on it yet. We'll see. But it was definitely fun when I was doing it. Oh, I did see Krista Watson's, at a glance. She had some really kind of neat, what popped out for me is she has in her fabric collection, she has some really good looking solids. But the solids, there's a couple specks of white squares kind of in it. And I thought those were would be really great fabrics to use in anything. Oh, Betty, yes. So I think I did around 10 different collections. So, and I have some of it in my shop yet, but barely any. It's almost all gone. So that was a couple years ago, and it's kind of like fashion where it's just really a quick turnaround. Every 6 months, new stuff is released. And manufacturers don't reprint things very often because they get new stuff every 6 months, so it's not out there so much anymore. But if you Google Alyssa Thomas fabric, it was with Clothworks, so if you add Clothworks to that search and penguin and fish with that search, and a bunch will probably show up still. So if you click the shopping tab or something, then it'll show some stores that still have it, but it's not out there so much anymore. You love the quality and variety of Moda. You like Fig Tree. Yeah, I noticed with, this is Robert Kaufman, and I know those little ponies that was Moda, and I thought the Moda was kind of a softer fabric, so that was kind of interesting. I don't always knowingly have several layers or several different types of fabric in one project that I'm thinking about fabric, but this one, since I got it from the store off the bolt, I just kind of noticed. Usually I'm not paying too close attention to that. Oh, and Andover, yeah. I think they have kind of soft fabric too. A lot of these places now have all different types of fabric, or substrates is kind of what they call it. So some will have jean fabric, or a lighter, airier type fabric, or gauzes and all that. You always get Kona solids. So Kona is part of Robert Kaufman. It's always nice to have a good solid when you need it, right? Ooh, my stack on my lap is getting real short here. Yay. So we will snip these this time though and rotate them. Then because we got to hit the other two sides here. Oh, you like Kona, but it sheds? Oh, that's interesting. right, I think I got 3 more here. Yay! Oh, Leah, we are working on we jumped into a new project just kind of randomly last week, Friday. I don't think it's going to take very long, and then we'll get back onto the Splendid Sampler too. This is the Triangle Tango quilt from Missouri Star Quilt Co. It was a pattern in one of their books, and I put a link in there if you wanted to see. I'll show you guys again the quilt. I have 3 more to go, and then I'll show you guys what we're making again. It's just quick. It seems pretty quick. It's got it's just one block that's turned in a couple ways, so I think it's going to be really easy. Oh, I am sewing the 10-inch squares together. These are 10-inch squares. I'm sewing all the way around. I'm doing one side at a time, but I'm sewing all the way around them. And then we will cut them on the diagonal. And then we'll get a little half square triangle. We'll get 4 half square triangles out of each of these. So it's just another way to do a half square triangle. This is how they have it in the pattern. The pattern calls for a whole pile of 10-inch squares. And it actually calls for like a pre-cut of 10-inch squares, which is like a stack of 42 10-inch squares. And it's called a layer cake. So, they're promoting their pre-cuts with this pattern, but I cut it from yardage. So I had to cut my own 10-inch squares. Yeah, owning a fabric shop, that would be fun. All right. Ooh, I need another leader. It's almost getting to be time to trim all of these leaders into half square triangles again too. My basket is filling up here again. All right, let's snip these now. Oh yeah, you guys, that's right. We could make our little seam ripper contraption. Let's do that. So, all right, let's see, can we do it with one of these? Yeah, all right, so I have, here's some backup thread if we need it. So I'm gonna just take a seam ripper. I'm gonna stick it into the top. Ooh, hopefully I don't lose the cover. Okay, that scares me a little. I don't want to, there we go. Use a different size one. So I just stuck that into a thing of thread here. You know what? I'm gonna go back to the other one. I'm just gonna take the cover off and we'll just, oh, that doesn't work. I need the cover. Harg. All right. Hopefully my cover doesn't get stuck in here forever. All right. So I got my little seam ripper deal. Let's see. What's the best position to be in here? I think we'll go like this. So I can just boop over the top of these. All right, I think, let's see. Let's stack them here. Man, these bigger blocks, I need a bigger space to work in. Not used to it. But there, we can just, instead of snipping each one, I'm just trying to get a position here going. Our fun little snippy tool. Actually, look at this. We can match up the ends and do them both at once. Got to get in a rhythm here. I'm like the Ford auto assembly plant tonight. I know, right, Patty? So that's what I was saying yesterday or the day before or something. So we did the whole process of one of these, but then I'm like, okay, we're not going through the process of one anymore. We're gonna like factory style do this where we do just one of the parts over and over and over again. And I just kind of get a kick out of how can we you know, the least amount of movements and maximize our time and all that. That's always kind of fun. But yeah, we're factoring these guys out tonight. I am placing all of these in the same direction, so I can just grab them and they'll automatically all be in the same direction. So I'm putting the seams on those edges. So we got this one and the other side to do yet. Then we can, I think we'll press them all first before trimming them, just to get them all good and flat, and then we'll be ready. Yeah, you know what? I think it's probably a good idea to press all these. So that'll be one little extra step, but I think that might be good before we cut. Kind of relax the seams a little bit. And I'm also placing them all in the same direction, like I'm putting the pattern side up. I suppose I probably don't really need to do that, but you know, factory style, we're doing everything exactly the same. If it's one less bit of confusion later, then that's good. Match these up. Oh, there's those cute horsies. Almost done. This isn't taking too long. Yeah, this was smart to do both sides at once. I mean, the idea of sewing them both at once before snipping them. Then we combine the snip, so that doesn't take so long. I like it. So again, we should have 32 of these. Actually, we should have 31 because I think we did one already, right? Yeah. So 31 of these. 32 total, but we finished one completely. Love the cutting method. Yeah, this is working totally slick. I love it. They do make little tools that do this for you, but I like just sticking your seam ripper in there. Oh, and these are the ones that I pre-cut, so there's only one side. This is before the idea that you mentioned. Who mentioned that? I forget. To don't take them apart until after we've sewn both sides. So, all right, there we go. Set this aside. I'm going to actually, oh, yeah, see, that's what I was worried about, that the cover's in there. Oh, maybe I can close it like this and pull it out. Or my cover might be forever lost in here. I'll have to get a pencil and get it out of there. But for right now, let's cover it up. All right, and let's, oh, I already, oop, I put that last one the wrong way. Okay. So now I'm just going to rotate all these, and I got to sew this side and this side. So, yep, I'm going to just set this in my lap again, I think. That was a decent way of doing it. Well, you know, the next time I will. This I'll just grab from the side. Actually, I don't have tons of space here. Maybe I will set all these in my lap. I think we'll do that. Just grab from the lap. And now they should all be, you know, held together on either side, so I shouldn't really have to worry about the edge lining up so much anymore. And if it's off, that's fine. It can be a little off. I am just still keeping my hands here to keep it flat if I can. Yeah, like this is kind of, we need to press this, I think it's kind of feels like the seams need to relax a little bit. I think heating them up should do that. But yeah, having this full flat surface is nice. I didn't always do that. I just had the machine sitting up on the table here, so my only flat surface was like right here. It's nice to be able to spread this flat. Cruising along. See how much faster this is than the first time? Just because I don't have to line up edges anymore. I still want to like do a time test of all my sewing machines to see when the pedal is all the way down, which one moves the fastest. You want to have a little race. Oh, exciting. Lots of fun stuff happening. I'm hoping it's super nice this weekend and I can go on a pile of walks and open all the windows and that would be nice. I don't think we'll get any gardening done quite yet. Might rake it out, maybe. Cruising along. You know, this is the relaxing type of sewing. So I always, knitting and crochet kind of were always my go-to, like completely zone out, you know, just for easy things like dishcloths. Totally zone out and not have to think really, and just like the moment of zen sort of thing for crafts. And I never really felt that way totally with sewing. Just because like with the Splendid Sampler, there was always a lot to pay attention to and, you know, a lot of things to do. I haven't done many patterns like this where it's just the one thing over and over again. But yeah, this is definitely a lot more relaxing than that. This is getting there to like, to the, you know, the relaxing knitting and crocheting. And you just get to hear the nice machine. I like it. Oh man, I really want to get these all sewn today. It's already 9:17, you guys. You know, these multiples always take so much longer than they do in my head. Like, I'm like, oh, we'll get this done really quick. But, you know, when you add up a simple task, but do it, you know, a ton of times, all of a sudden it's a long project all of a sudden. especially when we trim all these half square triangles, that's going to take some time. Ooh, this one's a little goofy. I'm thinking we cut the diagonal and do the use the slotted trimmers to trim them down right away. I think we do that all kind of at the same time, so we're moving less fabric around when we do that. I don't know, we'll see. Getting ahead of myself again. I'm pretty confident we won't run out of bobbin. So I started a whole new big bobbin. Oop, this is veering a little bit. Yeah, I got maybe 7 more or so. I feel like I'm sewing a little crooked, but it'll end up fine. Oh, well, one thing with this bobbin is I have that 50 weight fabric on, so I used to just use, I think it must have been like 30 weight, which is a little thicker. So this is pretty thin thread, the 50 weight, and since it's so thin, I get a whole pile more of it on the bobbin. So I think that's probably why it takes a little longer to run out. All right, 2 more. Then I gotta get this all in my lap again and rotate it. I would love to get these sewn and trimmed tonight. Just have a big old stack tonight. And then on Monday, we'll press and start trimming these. All right, stick this guy on. Okay, let's see if I can scoop all this up. It's kind of a big, crazy mass. Zoop, rotate it. And this will be our last edge on these. And then I'll snip them again. There, like we never stopped. Yep, it's relaxing. I like it. Ooh, 9:22. Can we sew all the rest of these in the next 8 minutes? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Powering along, exactly. Yep, as fast as the scooter will go. maybe I'll get this far enough along that the next time I go visit my my parents, I could sandwich this quilt. Like maybe I'll have the top done and the back sewn, so I can sandwich this next time I'm there. That'd be nice on their floor. Then I gotta quilt this yet too. Sheesh. Flipped around there. All right, again, I think we're about halfway done. I actually think it's going to be relaxing pressing these, and I don't think I ever think that. I think I felt that way when we were pressing them open too. I think it has something to do with the size. Maybe I just want to press larger size things, or maybe I'm finally accepting that pressing is part of the quilt process. I have no idea, Noeline. I can do free motion quilting or straight line. Actually, I mean, like straight line might be really awfully cute for this, but so could like a really fun all over pattern. I don't know. There's a lot of opportunity for quilting for sure. Depends, I guess, how quickly I want this done. I would kind of like to try an all-over pattern or just something for a whole quilt, because we've been practicing all that free motion quilting. It'd be fun to try it on a whole quilt. I'm sure that'll be a whole lot different than all our tiny quilt as you go pieces. Oh yeah, we could play with the ruler some more. That might be fun. You know, there'll be a lot of triangles and stuff, so there might be like opportunity to like connect the dots of the triangles. We will have to see. You know, we could try that thing. Have you seen people do this before, where they'll take a photo or something of the quilt top before they quilt it or anything, and then they'll draw, like they'll make printouts of it or just have it digitally, and they'll draw different ideas for quilting. That might be something to try. I think that might be a good idea. And it'd be good practice just before I dig in right away, just like, okay, what do we want this to be? Oh, fun, Jennifer. Yeah, I think that'd be fun, and we should do that here. I mean, obviously, I'll do that with you guys here, where, you know, if we take a photo and then I'll print it out or something, or maybe even on the iPad. That'd be kind of fun. Draw directly on there some different ideas. Yeah, that'd be good practice. You know, I think maybe some bigger motifs, because, you know, we've been quilting those small spaces, so I've been doing like all these tiny little quilted things. I think I need to practice like some bigger movements and stuff with my quilting, so this might be an opportunity for that. All right, I got maybe about, I don't know, 7 more or so again. Ah, there's so much bulk up here. I gotta push it all down a little bit more. I don't want it to fall off the table though. I did move my stacks of 6.5-inch strips though, so those won't get pushed off. That'd be horrible. Almost there. Yeah, normally this would be the part where I'm like, oh man, do we have any bobbin thread left? Have I been sewing like 12 of these without bobbin thread? But like I said, we just did new stuff. I think we're good. But I just had a bobbin twinge there. Oh, sure, Sally. I'll show you the picture of it again. The picture of the quilt. For sure. I forgot to do that on that last round. Yep, I got, I think, maybe 4 or so more. And I'll show you the quilt before I snip these. Yep, 3 more. So that didn't take long at all compared to like round 1 where we had to match everything up still. You think it's time for a long arm machine? Oh man. Okay, that's that. Let's, I'll just snip this leader off and use it here. All right, there we are, you guys. All right, let me show you. Look at this stack. It just goes all the way back here. So many squares. Okay, so before I snip all these again with our fun little contraption, here is the block again, or the quilt. It's the triangle Tango quilt. So here we go right there. So that's the quilt. This is like king size though. So just for some reference, here's the size of the half square triangles in here. So all it is basically a half square triangle with a couple borders, but the unique part is how they're rotated. Like there's a guide on how to rotate them. Like every other row is different. So there's two rows basically that are repeated. But you got to get those rows specific. So I'm excited. But yeah, so it was the perfect pattern to kind of show off this cute fabric. Since I'm not chopping this fabric up. This is it right here. So all right, let's snip these and then we will call it a weekend here. Yay! Though I'm happy that we got these all sewed. They're all sewn. I'm gonna do that double way of doing it again. Again, this is just a seam ripper stuck in some thread, a spool of thread. All right, so on Monday, oh yes, this sun fabric is pretty, isn't it? On Monday, we will press these first. I do think they need a good pressing before we start doing some accurate cutting. So we will press first. That'll take, it all takes a little bit of time now when we're working with so many pieces. Actually only 31 pieces, but still quite a bit. But we will press first. Then we'll cut the diagonal of 1, and I think we'll use our trimmers to trim it to our perfect size right away too. so we don't have to move the fabric around more than once. So we'll do a couple steps and we'll just work through the 31, but then they'll be all ready to go. At that point, we're ready to sew our little sashing strips to it. Yay, I'm excited. This is big getting this far. Once we get all the half square triangles done, that's going to be awesome. Oh, it's fun just knowing these are all sewn. We're going to have a pretty little stack here. Oof, a lot of fabric. Again, I'm just facing them so all the pretty pattern fabric is upright. Just for some consistency, and it's more fun to see that side than the white. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly, Nolene. So they do, I don't remember where I saw this. I know I did not come up with this idea myself, but they do make a little contraption to have by your sewing machine where it is basically a little trimmer on the top. It's basically this, but maybe a little bit more stable. This is moving around quite a bit. I think we tried to put a little tape on the bottom there once, but I don't know. This seemed to work just fine. Oh, I know, Sue, those ponies are so sweet, aren't they? I was going to look up the rest of these collections or see if I could find them online somewhere just to see what the rest of it looks like. If I do, I'll try and remember to do that this weekend, and if I do, I'll throw a link to where you can see the whole collections of these. That'd be neat. I would like to see what other colors there are and what's the rest of that pony collection. Although, you know what? Sometimes it's fun not to know. I feel like with that Dandy Annie collection. So that was that other fabric collection that I showed you guys that I got from that other quilt shop when I was visiting my brother and his wife in Liberty. It's Angela Walter's shop. The Quilting is My Therapy shop. I got a couple fat quarter collections there, and one of them was that Dandy Annie collection. I think that was Moda as well. But they had, Angela and her team had put together fat quarter, so it wasn't the whole collection. It was just a few that they picked out. Like they curated it, basically. They picked the colors that they thought were cute together and made a fat quarter collection. And I actually I looked at the whole collection afterwards. I liked just that stack of fat quarters more than I liked the whole collection. So that was kind of interesting. Like the whole collection had more colors in, and yeah, it did have a little bird fabric, which was cute, but I don't know, just having those gold colors with those blue colors together, like that was it for me. I liked the collection how I saw it in the fat quarters. I think there was more pinks and everything in the whole collection, and I liked it better. Just my little snippet of a collection. Angela was there. I didn't talk to her. She seemed pretty busy. I have met her though before at quilt markets. So I didn't want to bother her. She's deep in her like quilt market prep and everything, but she was at the shop. But yeah, she was talking to some other people who wanted to meet her and stuff. So if you are in Liberty and want to meet Angela, you for sure probably can at her store. All right, you guys, here it is, our lovely little stack. So that's not too bad. I think we'll be able to press these in no time. So we'll press them, and then we'll cut them, and then we'll get our little what is this called again? The Clearly Perfect slotted trimmers. We'll get this to trim them down because it's not going to be exactly perfect, this cut. We need to trim them to size. So we'll cut one, trim all the four, and then cut the next one, trim all the four, and we'll just work through the stack that way. Then after that, we have to press them all open so they lay open like this. But then then we will be ready to start sewing our strips to it, and that'll be fun. That'll be just like be a speed demon like what we did tonight here. All right, you guys, that is it for the week. I'm going to flip you guys around and we'll get going here. All right, you guys. Here we are, our nice big stack. Woo! Fuzzles everywhere. But awesome. I am still really loving this fabric. I'm still totally enjoying the process. And when you're at that, you know, you got to keep going when you're feeling those feelings, right? So, all right, we'll pick this up again on Monday. We'll do at least another week of this project. Just because it's fun and I like it, before jumping back into the Splendid Sampler. And then we'll have some more projects coming up for sure. Embroidery will be involved for sure. We haven't done embroidery for a while and we need to. That's a good breather project as well. And then, you know, we have that other quilt that we want to get going on too. I did put a link to it this time, the Granny Square quilt. And then, you know, we still got that Splendid Sampler. We got more than half of it to go yet. But we are quilting it as we go, so that will speed things up at the end. So awesome. Thanks again. I will get this on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. Have a great weekend, everyone, and I will see you on Monday. Good night.